Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. General Hospital Weekly Spoilers September 15th to 19th. Jason's retreat and Liesl's downward spiral ignite drama. Marco is quite upset at his dad, Ulrich Sidwell, Carlo Rota. In fact, he's just blasting him. I wonder if he is accusing him of the Drew Kane Quartermain, Cameron Matheson shooting, which Marco's not going to like because he was trying to use Drew to accomplish the initiative that he wanted. So, father and son are going to be at odds. Plus, Jason Morgan tells Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Bernard, and Carly Corinthos Spencer, Laura Wright, that somebody went to a whole lot of trouble to fake Britt Westbourne's, Kelly Thibault, death. Since we know that Colette was at one point working for Caesar Faison, Anders Hove, I'm still betting that we are getting Caesar Faison back. Maybe Andre Hove may be on his way back. General Hospital spoilers. Will Jason cave? I'm also wondering if Jason may cave and tell Carly the truth about Jocelyn Jacks, Eden McCoy. However, he told Anna Devane, Finola Hughes, that he promised Jocelyn he would not. Meanwhile, John Brennan, Charles Measure, tells Jocelyn and Vaughn that their little stunt, their affair, is going to cost them both. But I wonder what John Brennan can do to Jocelyn, because she could always turn around and just tell her mommy on him, and that would be problematic. Carly tells someone that she has heard about something. It may be that she was upset that Jason kicked her out of Anna's office to talk to Britt first and prioritized Anna over Carly. If that is what she's upset about, she's got more upset in store. Because if Jason wants to be with Britt again, which it seems like he does, Jason is going to have to start setting boundaries with Carly. I don't think Britt is going to be one of those who will be a backseat girl to him and this other woman who's always been in his life. General Hospital spoilers. Drew plays mind games. Drew is playing some mind games with Martin Gray, Michael E. Knight, telling Martin to make sure the police never see that evidence. I don't know if Drew knows about the fake judge bribery info that Britt had placed in his safe. So, Drew might be talking about the Porsche test tampering stuff because he wants to keep that so he has leverage over her and doesn't want the cops to find it. But it may be too late because they were already over at the house searching his open safe. Anna gets some new evidence, and that might be the judge bribery stuff. We'll see. It could be something else because Anna tells Harrison Chase, Josh Swickard, that Drew is D.A. Turner's problem now. So maybe the judge bribery stuff was found. Liesl Albrecht and Britt are fighting, which carries over from this past Friday's episode. Following Dr. O's slapping her daughter, she remains furious that Britt faked her death and let her mourn and grieve. Liesl absolutely thinks Britt was being selfish, and that's why she gave her a slap. Then Britt kind of slaps back and yells at her mom that she is the monster that Liesl raised her to be. Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watt-Rose, is trying to keep the peace between Britt and Liesl. Nina is telling Britt how much she, Liesl, and all her loved ones grieved when they thought she died and how it's a miracle that she's back. Nina is pressing Liesl to tell Britt that she's sorry for slapping her. But Liesl instead tells her daughter she is only sorry that she wasted a second grieving her. That is brutal. General Hospital spoilers. Tuesday, September 16th. Missing Outback and budding romances. On Tuesday, September 16th, it's season 63, episode 7 of General Hospital. Gio and Emma get upsetting news. I wonder if this is that Outback still has not been found. This dog has been front and center for a reason. So, Emma might worry that Dalton snatched Outback to use for testing. If you remember, Pascal was talking about some new development with cold fusion, and they had this new radiation thing that they needed to test, and that they were going to test it on Jocelyn and Vaughn. So, they may be testing it on dogs because they said they were working with higher mammals. We'll see about this upsetting news because Monica Quartermain, Leslie Charleson's death is coming soon. Lucas Jones, Ryan Carnes, confides in Ava Jerome, Maura West. I wonder if he's going to tell her that Britt is alive and that Elizabeth Weber, Rebecca Herbst, stopped him from calling Brad Cooper, Perry Shen, to tell him. I do hope that we get Brad back though. Britt would be so excited. Molly Lansing Davis, Kristen Vaganos, opens up to Elizabeth Weber. I wonder if she's going to admit to her she has feelings for Cody Bell, Josh Kelly. Nina goes off on someone, and it may be Willow Tate, Caitlin McMullen, for insisting that she's sticking by Drew. Christina Corinthos Davis, Kate Monsey, encourages Cody, and maybe Christina is urging Cody to tell Molly that he likes her. General Hospital spoilers. Wednesday, September 17th. Esme's alarm and Jason's sad news. On Wednesday, September 17th, on General Hospital, it's Season 63, Episode 8. Esme Prince, Avery Pole, realizes something alarming. I wonder if it's that her fingerprints are on the baseball bat that was in the living room, or something else that has her worried that they'll be caught and someone will realize that they were in the house. They are chatting at the coffee house next week. Britt has an unpleasant encounter. That could be with a whole lot of people, but maybe Dalton. They have been working separately on different ends of the same project. Plus, Jason shares some sad news. This could be that Monica is sicker, or it could be that Outback is missing since he's involved with everything going on with the kids. Dante Falconeri, Dominic Zamprogna, and Harrison Chase compare notes. I'm sure it's on the Drew shooting suspect list. Cody is in shock, so maybe it's something to do with Molly, or maybe he finds out something he shouldn't while he's talking to Christina. General Hospital spoilers. Thursday, September 18th. Molly's secret and Britt's humility. Thursday, September 18th, is Season 63, Episode 9 of General Hospital. Molly is hiding a secret. Is it her new romance novel that she's basically written about Cody, or is it something else? Britt has to set her pride aside. It could be with Liesl, it could be with Jason, it could be with the doctors at General Hospital, and she goes back begging for a job. Gio turns to Sunny for a favor, and Jason and Tracy Quartermaine, Jane Elliott, connect. This could be about Monica getting sicker, just her condition worsening, or it could be over their mutual dislike of Drew and not feeling too bad that he caught 2 bullets. Charlotte Cassadine, Scarlett Fernandez, opens up to Lulu Spencer, Alexa Havens, and this may be about how much she misses her dad, Valentine Cassadine, James Patrick Stewart. I'm so excited that he is back. General Hospital spoilers. Friday, September 19th. Bad news for Drew and Jason's regrets. Friday, September 19th, on General Hospital, Season 63, Episode 10. Elizabeth Weber gives Drew some bad news. So, I don't know, maybe it's about Willow. Danny Morgan, Asher Jared Antonison, is pleading with someone, and it may be with Drew to let them spend time with Scout Kane, Cosette Abinante. Lulu helps somebody who is the victim of an accident, which is never short on chaos, but the week ahead will set off emotional aftershocks that even the most seasoned GH fans won't see coming. As Jason Morgan steps away from the mob's shadows for a rare moment of self-reflection, Liesl Albrecht's descent into obsession and guilt sends ripples across the canvas, pulling everyone from Elizabeth to Carly into a storm of secrets, revenge, and redemption. Jason's breaking point. 4 years, Jason Morgan has been the unshakable rock of Port Charles. Stoic, loyal, and unyielding. But lately, cracks have started to show. After months of bloodshed, betrayals, and close calls, Jason has finally reached the breaking point. Despite Carly's insistence that the organization needs him, Jason shocks everyone when he declares he's taking time away, not just from the mob, but from Port Charles itself. When Jason tells Sunny he needs space, it's not an easy conversation. The two men share an emotional moment, one that harkens back to their brotherhood and the years they've survived together. Sunny, torn between gratitude and fear, reluctantly gives his blessing. "Just don't disappear on us again," Sunny warns, a flicker of worry clouding his eyes. Jason quietly packs up his motorcycle, leaving behind a stunned Carly, a speechless Sam, and an uneasy Dante. But Jason's destination isn't random. It's a secluded retreat in upstate New York recommended by none other than Elizabeth Weber. Elizabeth's influence. Elizabeth's suggestion wasn't just out of friendship, it was guilt. She's seen Jason spiral before, burying his pain under duty. With Jake growing distant and memories of the past haunting her, Elizabeth can't shake the feeling that helping Jason heal might somehow help her own fractured family. But her involvement won't go unnoticed. Finn, already jealous of Elizabeth's growing emotional connection to Jason, confronts her. Their argument turns fiery, with Elizabeth accusing Finn of controlling behavior. "You don't own my compassion," she snaps, before storming out. By the time Finn realizes his mistake, Elizabeth has left town, on her way to Jason's retreat. Meanwhile, back in Port Charles, a familiar storm brews, one named Liesl Albrecht. Liesl's spiral. Liesl Albrecht has always been a master of chaos, but this time, her antics come from a place of heartbreak. Since losing Britta and enduring the lingering trauma of her captivity, Liesl has been unraveling. Her facade of German wit and iron resolve is cracking. She's drinking more, sleeping less, and lashing out at anyone who dares pity her. Her latest obsession? Redemption through revenge. Liesl becomes convinced that someone, perhaps Victor's old associates, or even Anna, knows more about Britta's death than they've admitted. She starts digging into old WSB files, hacking into systems she has no business touching. But in doing so, she uncovers something much darker, references to an off-the-books neural mapping project, one that involves memory manipulation and psychological conditioning. The kicker? The files reference experiments that may have been conducted not just on criminals but on civilians. And one of the names listed is Jason Morgan. The convergence. As Jason tries to clear his head at the retreat, he begins to experience strange headaches and flashes of memory. Brief, disjointed images of medical equipment, sterilites, and an unfamiliar voice whispering his name. He shrugs it off as stress, until Elizabeth arrives. Their reunion is tender but charged. Elizabeth admits she's been struggling, too. "I just thought, maybe we could both use a fresh start," she tells him. For a brief moment, it seems possible. The air between them hums with nostalgia, and something unspoken. But before they can even begin to process their feelings, Liesl's discovery detonates like a bomb. Liesl confronts Anna. Liesl storms into the PCPD, waving the files she's uncovered. "You knew!" she screams at Anna, her voice trembling with fury. "You knew they used Jason. That he was not just trained, he was altered." Anna, blindsided, tries to reason with her, but Liesl is beyond logic. Her accusations turn wild, naming everyone from Valentine to Robert as co-conspirators. But one person takes notice: Valentine Cassadine. His instincts tell him Liesl isn't entirely wrong. He quietly offers to help her verify the data. Yet, true to Cassadine form, his motives are anything but pure. Jason's haunted retreat. Back at the retreat, Jason's condition worsens. He begins sleepwalking, muttering in German, something he doesn't speak. Elizabeth wakes to find him standing outside at 3 a.m., staring blankly into the woods. "They're coming," he whispers before collapsing. When he wakes, he remembers nothing. Elizabeth, terrified, calls Spinelli for help. Spinelli hacks into the retreat systems and discovers that the property was once owned by a defunct biotech front, one that had ties to Victor Cassadine's old network. Realizing Jason may not just be retreating but recovering from something sinister, Elizabeth and Spinelli race against time. But Liesl, now fully in her manic state, decides she must confront Jason herself. Liesl's descent reaches Jason. When Liesl arrives unannounced, her presence sends Jason into an immediate panic. Her voice triggers more flashbacks, and he starts to piece together fragments of his past. A shadowy lab, Victor's orders, and a series of conditioning sessions meant to ensure Jason's loyalty under duress. Liesl, guilt-ridden, confesses that she once worked on similar conditioning experiments decades ago under Caesar Faison. "I thought I was saving lives," she sobs, "but I was only creating weapons." Elizabeth is horrified. Liesl's guilt and Jason's trauma intertwine in a volatile cocktail of emotion. Jason lashes out, breaking a mirror in anger, but the reflection shows something chilling, a small scar behind his ear he never noticed before. The storm erupts. As Jason's memories flood back, a violent thunderstorm traps everyone at the retreat. Liesl, slipping further into psychosis, barricades the doors, insisting she must finish what Faison began, and undo it. Elizabeth pleads with her to stop, but Liesl has already rigged a crude, neural resonance device from stolen lab parts, believing she can reverse Jason's conditioning. The scene spirals into chaos. Jason convulses, Elizabeth screams for help, and Liesl collapses as lightning strikes the cabin's power lines. When the storm clears, Jason lies unconscious, Elizabeth weeping beside him. Liesl, burned and broken, mutters a final warning: "The truth is deeper than Victor. Deeper than me." Aftermath. The fallout begins. Jason awakens days later in GH with fragments of new memories, and questions that will haunt him. Did Liesl's treatment actually unlock something real? Or has the trauma finally blurred his sense of truth? Meanwhile, Liesl survives but is placed under psychiatric observation at Ferncliff, muttering about the next phase, and someone she calls the architect. Anna, shaken by Liesl's accusations, begins to re-examine old WSB case files, realizing some of them have gone missing.